Gondain, or actually good afternoon, basically. So yeah, I feel a bit weird, not gonna lie. I had my third booster shot on Wednesday, and as I did suspect, I did get sick. I'm still kind of under the weather. I'm still gonna go into work tomorrow, hopefully. Yeah, I'm gonna go into work. But yeah, otherwise, happy. It's been weird, you guys. It's been weird. So I'm gonna keep, being like me, just for a little bit because I need to get it out of my system. I've been sleeping fine until what was it? Friday night. I just couldn't fall asleep. Like I was so awake. I don't remember this happening to me for like about 20 years or so. So I did not sleep for about 40 or 41 hours because I just couldn't. And then last night, Saturday night, I decided that, you know what, I'm just gonna get into bed and try again because I could not sleep Friday night, I could not sleep on Saturday, so I decided to just get into bed at about the same time as usual, and then I slept 13 hours, just over. Which is bad because I lost the majority of daylight. Like I did get enough to film my second second unboxing of the Hobby Advent calendar, and like, it should be up by now. It is uploading now. At least I did have some presence of mind to do that. I'm blaming that on the wackiness of my sleep. Like, how did I not fall asleep for 40 hours? That's not me. I am the person who just, I'm up at 7, I wake up at that time, and then I fall asleep somewhere between 11 and 12, sometimes a little smidgen over 12, or midnight. But I have that sleep schedule, so I don't know why I could not fall asleep. I was so awake, so I just kept reading, like, what else was I supposed to do? Like, stay in bed and stare at the ceiling? And then I sleep for 13 hours. Like, I'm not surprised over that, but I'm not bad. So I think I'm feeling a little, like, weird, mostly because of the weird sleeping. But I am mostly good after the fever and the sore throat and the cold and the muscle and aching that you get when you're sick. So I'm getting better from that. But that does mean that I missed out on Thursday midnight, and I'm really sad about it because, listen, before I went to the booster shot, I actually finished the majority of the knitting for the vest. Look at it. Like, yeah, I didn't like sew the shoulders because got sick, and so I got that still to do, and then the knitting of the really short rib, honestly. So this is mostly done, and I was so happy about it. I was gonna bring it and show the other ladies at midnight, and then I couldn't. Dang it. But yeah, I've got this much left over of the yarn that I bought for this project. So it's the Drops Air, and I love it. This is such a nice yarn. Like, it's not that nice when you got like when your hands are like really rough after, if you work that type of job. Like, I sometimes have to deal with cardboard boxes are the worst. They dry up your hand and they just leave you all dry and crackling and unpleasant in the hands. Cardboard boxes are the worst. Like, they are also more lethal than any knife that you can have for work. Like, when you need to open boxes, knives are less dangerous than laser cut cardboard or carton or whatever you want to call it. Laser cut paper boxes are more dangerous for you than the sharpest knife in the on the bottom of a black drawer. Like, I have cut myself a gazillion times on boxes. Twice in my 20 years, almost 20 years of working where I work. I think I cut myself like 2 or 3 times on a knife. I have no idea how many times I've cut myself on boxes because they were laser cut. Right over, back to knitting. So, but yeah, Drops Air. If you haven't tried it, I need to recommend it because it is so nice. It is, it's not like based on threads. It's like it's a tube. Whoops, thank you. It's like this. Yeah, one of these tube-like yarns. So when you're knitting or working with it, it's not going to split. It's just gonna stay nice and pleasant to work with. And so soft. If the lighting was better, I would show you the halo better, but I'm working with what I do have. So in my pack that I bought at my local little knit store, the coffee shop, she was selling 4 of these, and you got the pattern to go with. So this lovely vest, when I'm finished with it, and there's not a lot of work after, it's this College Days pattern, the vest, by Garn Studio. And yeah, I should be able to finish this before Christmas, so I should be able to finally wear this with my shirts and my dresses I've been looking forward to. And it's so soft. Oh, it's so soft. Yes. So, yay for me. I've almost got something done. Let's see. Yeah, I did mention the advent calendar. So last week or the first Sunday in Advent, we got the I think I still got some fever. I'm blaming that on my weird sleeping, mind you. Because when you sleep weird, your whole system just goes chaotic. So I'm trying to take the day a little bit slower. But I've only been awake for like 2.5 hours. This is not me. Anyway, so last time we got the yarn. Oh, lighting. We got 2 of these Hobbii Tweed Delight, and it is a delight. Like, people who make yarn do know their yarn, surprisingly. But this, look at it. I hope this lighting can catch the colors. Like, this is not optimal, but it's got like the yellow and blues and greens, and it's been so much fun to work with this because this yarn has been a delight, literal delight to work with. And now you're supposed, according to the pattern, which is on my computer so I can show you, you are supposed to work with a circular needle and do a magic loop, and I did try that, but I'm not that good with magic loops, so instead I opted for double pointer needles. Now these are 4mm. What I do have is still on 4mm. I'm supposed to switch over to 4.5mm, but again, got sick. So I don't have a lot done, but we got 2 of the Tweed Delight. This gorgeous fluffy pom-pom. Oh, I love it. And it has this clip on. So another thing that we got in the box of the advent calendar was a needle. Well, obviously I misplaced somewhere, but I cannot remember. It doesn't really matter because I do have a lot of needles, but you did get another needle to sew this on. So the pattern of the first calendar is a hat, and it's a really cute one. You get this really simple brim. Why am I showing on the... You get a really simple brim, and the rest of the body of the hat, I thought it was like a cable, but it's more like a twist. If I have a set of brain later, I will try and put a picture of it, but I'm not gonna make any promises. But it looks really, really interesting, and I do know that another interesting thing about this is that they still have the knitters calendar available, but the crochet calendar, I'm pretty certain that one's sold out. So you got the, I think it's the same Tweet Delight, but in blue. So the crochet pattern, maybe I should try and and I'll link to that one too, because it did look interesting. Yeah, that one's blue, look really cute too. But yeah, I've been working on the brim. I got this much done. I only need to switch over to the, yeah, I'm doing this because I know how to do this. Right, just work on double pointed needles. And it's actually been going well. Like, I don't have, surprising well actually, because I don't have like a gaping between the needles. I'm a little bit impressed with myself. The only thing that is weird was I got this in the yarn, but I'm not mad at it. Like, this is organic and I like it. So now I need to switch over to 4.5mm, and there's yes, there's 16 increase that I need to do. So that's at least easy to calculate, because that means there are 4 increases to on each needle. So I just need to do the thinking, which I did do, but I didn't write it down. Cool. But yeah, I've also been using the this thing that I got when I ordered the Knitters calendar, and this has been so nice to use. Like, I just plonk it on my table where I'm working, and I mean, yeah, it does squeak a little bit, but only occasionally. And my skeins aren't jumping everywhere. It's so cute. I like it. So this has been a really nice purchase. A really needed purchase. So yay. Yeah, so I've got that much done of the brim. I'm so close to being done with the vest, so I can actually use it. And you know, I got the booster shot on Wednesday. I'm like, according to experience, I'm probably gonna be sick, but and just in case I don't get sick, I did pack my Knit Night fancy bag. Like, this is just a regular bag I got off the internet like years and years and years ago, but because it's like this soft golden, I'm like, well, I need something to use for Knit Night, so I'm gonna use this one. So I packed it with Drops Air. This is really soft, like misty, foggy violet. And again, for Drops Air, because I was going to use this. I made a mistake when I was buying the yarn, I think last winter, for this sweater that I will be working on it, because I need to use it, get it. But where is the, there we go. Like, it's the Frostbuster balaclava. Like, this band doesn't have a picture because didn't know how to do that, and then realized, I think like the day after the last weekend update, that there is actually a button on the page for you to push or click on, and it makes it better for you to print the page. But I didn't realize that there was that button, so I didn't do that. So I have a pattern that doesn't have a picture of the end product, but it's a really nice balaclava that you work on from the neck and up. And the instructions are a little bit weird, but again, my pattern doesn't have weird instructions. And the thing that I'm really excited about, not just because at the end of the day I will end up with a balaclava, I was going to make the winter, you know, a little bit nice, it's also because the pattern, or the main body of the work, you do in a moss stitch. I've never done that, and I've heard people curse it, but then again, you can curse anything, so I'm a little excited about that. So that was the project to be that I put in my to go back and get a little winded now. But again, had to stay home at sick. Had to stay sick at home because of the booster shot. I don't regret it because I would much rather get the booster shot and be sick for like 3 or 4 days rather than risk getting COVID and being like really sick. Oh, Iceland updates. Need to think a little bit. So the cute little polite volcanic eruption that has been on Reykjanes, I think is over. I haven't heard any mention of it being active because it went into a little bit of slumber. I think it's inactive now. So that little polite, and I mean it, it's been such a polite little delight for the past year. Well, when did it start? Start in April, and it's been, I'm not gonna lie, it sounds a little bit weird, but it's been a delight to follow. Not just the fact that it's been in the absolutely perfect location so that it hasn't posed a threat to anyone. There isn't, because of the area, there isn't that much wildlife there either, so it has been the most optimal eruption that we could have basically wished for. Also the fact that we could stream from it and just watch it from our living rooms, it's been a delight for so many people, like my mother. For the months that while it was erupting, just watching it grow and seeing the changes in it. Like, it started with like a long fissure with, I think, at most 9 points of fire show. And then at the end of it, it started in a valley and now we have a mountain. So it grew quite a bit. And the people close, living in a small town closer to it, they were the ones that got to name it. So that's cool. The other thing is that there is a, what do you call it in English? Well, potential eruption in Grímsvötn. This is part of Vatnajökull, our biggest glacier. We don't know if there's an eruption. There might be, potentially, in the future, maybe around Christmas time, maybe. But the thing that is happening is that Grímsvötn, they are running. So what that means is, and this is the fun part about the glacier, is that Grímsvötn, there are these two calderas beneath the glacier, and calderas, they're kind of like little bowls. They're like, yeah, little bowls that are sitting underneath a thick layer of the glacier. And when they start heating up, they, it's like a bowl, and you got the glacier on top. And when they start heating, the glacier on top, it starts melting and filling up the calderas. And when the calderas, they are going to fill up eventually. And when that happens, you get, the water needs to go somewhere, so it goes. And what happens then is that they go into, trying to remember, they go into, I think, a lake that then fills up eventually and goes into a river called Gígjukvísl. And Gígjukvísl is one of the side rivers of one of our bigger rivers. I'm getting winded. And I think that one is Skeiðará. I think that's one. I'm trying to think. My brain is now full of cotton. But you get this caldera, fills up with water, runs into, well, at least it goes into Gígjukvísl. And Gígjukvísl, a cute little river, well, actually it's not cute. The another name for Gígjukvísl is Fúlilækur. Fúlilækur means such a mean name for a river. Fuglitleikur means stinky stream. Kiwi's is a lot nicer name, but stinky stream, because she does tend to take in the water from the eruptions, and they are going to stink because eruptions, volcanic eruptions, you get a lot of brandestate. Brandestate is phosphorus, yes. And phosphorus stinks. It's the thing that makes it stinky. So Stinky Stream unfortunately does bear its name whenever there's an eruption onto the glacier. So Little Stinky Stream leads into a bigger river system, and that one leads down to the main road, which is one of two main lines that lead to where I live. So they are expecting, or we're expecting, fever really messes with your brain. You're like trying to remember things, but you not necessarily memorize them because your brain is like, nope, busy with other things. But yeah, so we are expecting a run. So what that means is that you got your regular river just with her thing, and in wintertime maybe not doing that many things except maybe occasionally breaking some, excuse me, bringing down some like ice and that kind of thing from the glacier. But then you get this extra water because of at least heating up. So the river is gonna get bulky and bulky, and she's going to run. But fortunately, we have scientists who are in the area and are constantly paying attention to this, because this is a natural phenomenon. And because fortunately we have smart people who say, well, we're not going to hide it from people because that's dangerous. So we are pretty well informed, so we know that there might be a run in the Skeiðará. And Skeiðará is a rather big river, but I'm not, the tone that we are getting from the scientists and the media is they aren't excessively worried. Like, there is always a worry about volcanic eruption, but it's not like, the tone isn't panic. It's more like, well, this is the situation, this is what we're gonna do, and nobody is panicking, so that's good. So yes, there might be another eruption. I mean, these games are fairly regular, so I'm not surprised if they're gonna erupt this winter at least. I'm getting winded. Need to stop talking. Oh, but I did want to share with you what I'm reading. So, I am reading this. Starts to read this, How Not to Write a Novel. I did have this on my Kindle, and I liked it. Reread it quite a few times. It's a how-to book that focuses on what not to do, or not to. It's like this one, Last Tango in Santa's Village. I mean, all the samples are rather tongue-in-cheek. Wherein the love interest is a sexual zero. Yeah. So all the examples, because they write samples with everything, they are absolutely tongue-in-cheek. Currently can't read anything out loud because health is not 100%. But I do like this book, and I'm reading it, but this time in a physical format. And the other book I'm reading is the Strange Laws of Old England. I haven't read that one in any form yet, but it's all about those really weird, like the title says, like just these strange, weird, peculiar, eyebrow-raising laws of Old England. Wales, Ireland, and Scotland, basically the Isles as a whole. And some of these laws have been like, kind of make sense, probably in context. But yeah, from the 21st century perspective of a middle-aged Icelander living in Eastern Iceland, some of them like, eh. But again, we've had our own weird laws through the time, but every single country does. This is just really interesting. I have to admit, one of the main reasons why I bought this was, every time I did buy this from Amazon, and every time I go and find some product on Amazon, I do read the customer. What's the word? Customer comments. I can't remember the actual word. And the review, I think that's the word, that absolutely sold me on this book was from a man, potentially, like, you don't really know, who his comment was basically, you shouldn't buy this because it was too hard for him to comprehend. The language was too pretentious and la. And that literally sold me on it, because I'm like, I did read a bit, I think, on the preview thingamajig, and it didn't read complicated to me. Like, English is my second language, and I've spent a lot of time reading English because that's the kind of world we live in, and because most of the books that I'm interested in come in English. And this person basically said you need to be learning or studying or either practicing law in order to understand the words here. No, you do not. I'm absolutely, having started on this book, like, a little bookmark is here, so I'm not that far into it, but based on what I've read, you do not need to comprehend law in order to understand this. This language is by far not these. I mean, if pretentious language is here, and pretentious language is here, and here is, really simple language, this barely hits the middle point. Like, no, you do not need to be constantly reading law in order to understand this. This is not, I don't know what kind of books this person has been reading. This is, if you think this is pretentious, dear Lord, you need to read some of the old literature that is English and that is pretentious. This book, no. So yeah, these are two. Listen, I always need to have at least 2 books on the go because my brain goes ping pong. Same reason why I need to have more than one project of knitting as I go, because my brain goes ding dong, ping pong, ding dong. Yeah. Oh, and I did mention that the second unboxing video of the advent calendar should be out. It's uploading. I forgot to put that one up, so I don't know how far I'm up, but I really like what I got there. And then this has been turned into those socks. Listen, it's ankle socks with Diablo worked into a simple lace. I loved those type of socks when I was a child. I just went mental over them. I still do. Like, I don't go mental, but I still go eek when I see them. So the fact that the pattern that they are offering, like, I know I don't need to make it, but I want to because I need I want to learn how to make socks, so why not? And they got this lace around the top, and I'm like, why not? Why not? So I think this is the point where I should sit in my mouth, get this on my computer, edit, and start uploading it. This probably won't be up until Monday at the earliest because of my internet speed, and yeah, gonna do that. Eat something nice and stay calm today as well. Then I should be able to get to work tomorrow. But yeah, this has been me this week. A little bit out of it because of the booster, but still, like, I had a really good idea that I would get sick, and I still went and got it because I am far more concerned about the after effects of the pandemic, of the COVID, if I would catch COVID, than I am about the fact that I get sick for about 4 days. I'd rather get sick for 4 days than lose my sense of taste. Like, there are people who got sick in the first wave and they still can't really taste things. But yeah, that's enough from me this weekend. I'm gonna go do the things that I said I was gonna do, and yeah. I hope you're well. I hope you are healthy and good, and my life is good. And yeah, I will see you later. Okay, bless.